Good morning or afternoon, depending where you are. I wanted to talk today about censorship, the intent by force to silence people. I personally don't care if you are a Democrat or you are a Republican or you feel you are whatever it is that you are. Freedom of speech is not a right that has been given to us. We born with that right. It's a natural right. It's no one's right of power to try to eliminate somebody else's thought process, because the first thing that we do when we're born is make a noise with our voice by crying or screaming or something. Freedom of the speech is natural. Now we have some outlets up there. They very much have a big monopoly on the social media. Social media has become a huge thing. People communicate in fast way, in matters of seconds, express a situation or problem or news or anything that's happening today. And no matter the times, dozens of people receive the same information. So it's become very powerful for the people. But those that control these outlets have decided they want to control the people. And by doing so, the censorship, the news, the posts, the comments, and even black people eliminate accounts and do all kind of different things. I don't know how long that you've been around in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and all the other places. But I've been around for quite some time. And I happened to notice about maybe 2 years plus ago that some things were not sounded really good. Even in time of Obama, as I noticed the push for a particular information, for a particular agenda, like when Ben Laden supposed to be killed, all those pictures are floating around and nobody really have a picture because he was not photographed when he's supposed to be killed. And as I said supposed to be killed because we've been lied so much that it's very normal to think that never happened, especially when you hear that he died 10 years before. But in any case, I have noticed little by little the force of those that run the media, those that control the media, the social media, to a particular agenda. It was really soft, almost not noticeable. But for somebody who pay attention to everything, I start notice and I start telling people, you need to get up from that because you are helping them to destroy you. Anyways, I have been blocked many times on Facebook. For us patriots, some people call us conservatives. That is everyday thing. We don't really get angry about it because we got used to it. In fact, if you are not blocked by Facebook or Twitter or any other, you're not really a patriot because patriots is posting the truth. That's what it means to be a patriot. Stand up, speak up, and never surrender. Expose the truth. Support the country. Support the Constitution. And so when we give blood, that has become an honor, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So I've been blocked a few days ago for posting a picture about the Constitution 6 years ago. I mean, I understand if there was something 2 or 3 days before. No, 6 years ago. And they say that it's because my hate speech is not supported by community standards and Facebook. Oh yes, I'm smoking. I like to smoke. It's too much pressure and too much stress with this politician stuff, politics, too much thinking, too much everything. But anyways, it's my way out. I don't drink and I don't do other crazy stuff, just smoke. Anyways, so I got blocked for hate speech, and I had to laugh about it. I mean, I on myself a laugh because that sounds so outrageous, so dumb, and so stupid. If you are like me, you're not going to have only Facebook to expose whatever that you need to expose. So there are outlets out there. You're not going to have only YouTube or Twitter or some Instagram or some others. You're going to have an expansion of things so that you can communicate with people, including people in the streets, which is impossible to block you from that, at least for now. So I started notice they are posting things in Facebook, and it is no traffic, none. It is no likes, no share, nothing. And I've been on Facebook since the early 2005, 2004, 5, 6, somewhere around that. So it's been a long time. I know Facebook upside down. I have a lot of friends. I got to 5,000, I don't know how many times. And then suddenly many disappear, so most likely Facebook is removing our friends. And also putting in our friend list that you must check on this thing. Some people say it's Facebook friend, or they has names without pictures, or names without any profile. Those are fake profiles from Facebook. They has put into you a list of friends. So you guys have to check on that and block it. Like when you say, as you see Facebook security, that's another fake account. So block that stuff. Go to your friend list, click on that thing, just on the mouse, click it without enter in the word, just click it, and they will say block or change status or look at status or whatever. Just click block, and you take these people out. Clean your friend list. Then so I notice other things, like if I post something, I see it, but nobody else see it. And why I know this? Well, at home we had 3 computers. Actually 2 laptops and 1 computer. I had the computer. My granddaughter and daughter has the laptop. And I go through their account, I go to my page, and I don't see my post. I got to look my page from my own computer, and I cannot see the post, my post on their computers. So I start sending messages to my friends. Pay attention to this. There's a lot going on. You're thinking the people is not checking in your stuff, or you don't see a lot of notifications. It's not because people is not checking in your stuff. It's because we've been basically limited to post, to be able to see other people, other friends' posts, to have notifications of the things that we write or not. I had 3 groups in Facebook and 1 page. I do not receive no notifications from my personal groups, and I'm the only one who runs those groups. I don't understand. I have no notifications of what's going on those groups. I actually had to go myself to check it, what is new, and make sure that everything is okay. I do not like censorship, so I don't censor people on my groups. My groups have some rules. You follow the rules, and that's all fine. For instance, I have one is politics. I do not want arguments or fights or anything, because ideas. If people get nasty and there's 2 people involved, both people are gone. I don't discriminate or who start or who not, because we always make a choice of what we are to do. It takes 2 to tango. And one of the things that I say in that particular group is that I'm not responsible for anybody's feelings. I'm responsible for my feelings. And I'm not going to babysit anybody's feelings. If they feel hurt too bad, we are grown enough to know how to deal with it. I have another one that is basically positive, and I create this because I noticed the stress that we've been carrying for a long time in the patriot community. And we need sometimes to have a break. Sometimes we need to laugh, and sometimes we need to chill with something good. So that group is exclusively for positive stuff, between jokes and music and nice stuff. It is not allowed to talk about politics. So anybody coming with politics or foul language or something nasty is going to be blocked. But things, normal things that normal people will understand. And so I have another one that's about exposing the persecution of Christians. I thought when I created that group, it was basically to talk about the persecution of Christians outside the United States. And the last I noticed, the United States, the Christians are target underground. They are target for many people probably it's not even noticed, but for somebody who is involved and somebody who is a very strong Christian, I notice these things. Christian businesses are being targeted. People they try to talk about the Bible are being targeted. People who have home studies are targeted. It's been going on for quite some time, especially in Obama time. Or as I call him, the jihadist, because he has done a grand jihad in the United States. So anyways, I have noticed all these things, and I've been black, and I just take it, no big deal, because I have a lot of things to do anyways, and I have other places to bring my information. But about a week ago, I got black for a picture, as I said before, this about the Constitution, which to me is outrageous, because they said there was hate speech. Now, I guess in the United States, everybody is doing hate speech since we are supposed to follow the Constitution. Even those that attack conservatives, they always use the Constitution to cover their criminal actions, which the Constitution don't support criminality. That's to start with. But they're using it. So I contest that, and I guess the review, and they say, they apologize to me, and they say we are mistaken, so you post us back. I appreciate it. I say thank you. I send them a small message appreciating that as well. And then 3 days later, I get back again for a picture also posted about 5-6 years ago of a little girl, about 6 years old, who's supposed to be married, forced married, with a 32-year-old man, Islamic. The picture says, please save me from Islam. As I said before, I don't have problems with Muslims, I have problems with Islam. The problem is all Muslims must follow Islam, so they are a problem. And American people need to wake up with that, the truth statement, because until they don't get strong, they're going to play to you what they call taquilla, which is deceive and lie, so that you believe their so-called religion is peaceful, which is not. It's everything but peaceful. And it is not religion either. It's a system of government. And if we translate to our understanding of politics or regimes, is fascism and steroids. So when I got this message of hate speech and reference to this picture, I start thinking, I said, how are they going to block me or punish me for exposing pedophilia? The truth can never be other than the truth. So I contest this review. They say they stand with the review because it's legit. So I sent them a message, and I told them that I need to know if Facebook supports pedophilia. Because if they do, then Facebook is doing something criminal. And I also question the ability to say that somebody have hate speech and go against the community standards, because communities are made by people, families, and families have children. And if they make people to be silenced, or silence people by force, then there is no community standards, because if they wanted to for us to follow some standards, they are the first ones to have to follow those standards. Especially because we know that in Facebook is a lot of groups for pedophilia, for porno, for sex slave, for Islamic hate, and some other things that they don't do nothing about it. So to me, that's really outrageous. And I decided to make this video because it is time for us, the people. I can care less about politicians, the people, us, the people, to stand up and to expose this corruption, this trying to take over and control all of us by silence us. You cannot be free if you don't have the most important rights that you born with, which is thought, which is ideas, exchange of ideas, which is speech. And I'm not talking about hate speech. Hate is hate. It is not free speech. Hate is hate. I'm talking about the ability to communicate with one another. We can maybe agree or disagree. But if we don't exchange ideas, how can we grow as people? We can grow as people. We need to exchange ideas, because some people have experience about some things, some people have experience about other things. I might know a lot of things that other people don't know, but other people, I'm sure they know things that I don't know. And I'm always hungry for knowledge. I always want to know. So why somebody is going to silence somebody else to tell me something that I need to know? That makes no sense. And when they start doing this, they start destroying the people. I've been said for a long, long time, especially since 2008, that one of the reasons why freedom of speech and the Second Amendment, the First and Second Amendment, are under attack is because are the two amendments that they need to eliminate to make Islam powerful in this country. Now, don't think there is a theory. Don't think there is I'm nuts or something, because I'm not. Look at Europe. Look at Europe. Europe, people used to have weapons, especially in England, because they love hunting and they love competition. And they start using different laws, different lies to make people believe that if people don't have weapons, they won't be more secure. But you cannot sell your security for freedom, or you cannot sell your freedom for security, because eventually you will have none of the two. And that's exactly what happened with Europe. They confiscate the weapons of everybody, and since they don't have no weapons, now they are going against the First Amendment for us, which is freedom of speech. And if you speak anything wrong against Islam, I don't care if it's in Facebook, or you make a video, or you do whatever, or even a comment, you go straight to jail. They don't have police to make sure the children are not raped, but they have police to make sure the people are not talking of Islam. That's outrageous. So the First Amendment and the Second Amendment are extremely important, because they are the only two amendments that stop Islamic forces in this country. As long as you can speak the truth, and as long as you can pass this truth to one another, and everybody understand what Islam really is, and as long as you have your weapons to defend yourself, because time will come when people will fight for their lives in this country in the future. The way things are today, if we don't change, if we don't wake up, and we don't wake up the rest of us, if we don't keep informing people, if we not stand up, we will end up in the streets fighting for our life. And more sure it's coming from the North, because the North are harboring all supposed to be refugees. The same way the Californian and other states are harboring the illegals. Be vigilant. I keep saying that all the time. Be vigilant. It is not only about your life, it's the life of your children. So I had to make this video because I'm completely against anyone who try to take our personal and natural rights, period. I lived 17 years under fascism. I didn't have rights to speak. My people were living in fear. They can't even speak loud because they didn't know who was listening and might betray them, including family members. It is not a way to live. We must have our freedom of speech. We must fight, not just for ours, but for everybody else, even if you don't agree with them, even if you don't want to be around them. We must fight for the freedom of the speech of everybody, because eventually, if we don't do, will affect all of us. And we must fight to the nail for the Second Amendment. Make sure that this one is not taken away from you. And if you know that somebody is trying to pass laws to eliminate that amendment, like it has happened right now in Florida, they are confiscating over 250,000 weapons, we should all go up there. We should all stand up for these people and raise hell. Because that is a natural right, and I do not believe no American has given the government power to trample on those rights, period. So it's up to all of us to unite and start fighting back. I made this video because I want everybody to know what's going on Facebook. The exchange that was happening in Congress with Mark Zuckerberg, it was a total mockery. It was a joke. Zuckerberg paid money to these people, to most of these people, so they can give soft questions to him, and he don't need to take an oath or take whatever it is to say that he will say the truth and nothing but the truth. He didn't do that. So the whole thing was a total lie. It was a play so the American people believe garbage. We must stand together and we must fight together. And we must expose this. So please, if you hear this video, I ask you, if you've been noticed something in Facebook or YouTube or Twitter that has been blocking you, freezing you, giving you hard time, please make a video and write. Talk about it. Tell other people. Because the media don't talk about it and they say it's a lie. We not a lie. We live this every day. We need to expose this. Because fighting for one of us is fighting for all of us. Remember, when America is under attack, you under attack. You are America. And remember, freedom is not free. We must fight for that freedom. We must be vigilant. That's the price of freedom. Please make a video. I'm going to put hashtags Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, freedom of the speech, or something like that. So hopefully more people will follow and more people will expose this. Thank you so very much. It's time for us to walk away of all this corruption. It's time for us to walk away of all this intent and agenda of bring us to fascism or communism or Islamicism. It's time for us to stand up for our rights and for this republic. It is not a democracy, it's a republic where the people is in charge, not the government. Democracy is the forced doors to dictatorship. Forced democracy, where the majority rule, then socialism, what you have, they're taken away from you to give to other people. That's what we have now. And then you have fascism, Marxism, communism, or Islam. You can choose whatever you like, but all of them are bad, especially Islam. So stand up, unite, be first and foremost America. Fight for God and country. Because without one or the other, you do not have country. God bless you all. Thank you for listening.